When I cast my mind back to that summer of 1936, different kinds of memories offer themselves to me. We got our first wireless set that summer. Sort of a set. And it obsessed us. Because it arrived as August was about to begin, my Aunt Maggie, she was the joker of the family, she suggested we give it a name. She wanted to call it Lugh, after the old Celtic god of the harvest. Because in the old days, August the 1st was Lughnasa, the feast day of the pagan god Lugh, and the days and the weeks of harvesting that followed were called the festival of Lughnasa. But Aunt Kate, she was a national school teacher and a very proper woman. She said it would be sinful to christen an inanimate object with any kind of a name, not to talk of a pagan god. So we just called it Marconi, because that was the name emblazoned on the set. And about 3 weeks before we got that wireless, my mother's brother, my Uncle Jack, came home from Africa for the first time ever. For 25 years, he had worked in a leper colony there in a remote village called Ryanda in Uganda. The only time he ever left that village was for about 6 months during World War I, when he was chaplain to the British Army in East Africa. Then back to that grim hospice where he worked without a break for a further 18 years. Now in his early 50s and in bad health, he had come home to Ballybeg, as it turned out, to die. And when I cast my mind back to that summer of 1936, these two memories of our first wireless and of Father Jack's return are always linked. So that when I recall my first shock of Jack's appearance, shrunken and jaundiced with malaria at the same time, I remember my first delight. Indeed, my awe to the sheer magic of that radio. And when I remember the kitchen throbbing with the beat of Irish dance music, beamed to us all the way from Athlone, and my mother and her sister suddenly catching hands and doing a spontaneous step dance, and laughing, screaming, like excited schoolgirls. At the same time, to see that forlorn figure of Father Jack, shuffling from room to room, as if he were searching for something but couldn't remember what. And even though I was only a child of 7 at the time, I know I had some sense of unease, some awareness of a widening breach between what seemed to be and what was. Things changing too quickly before my eyes, of becoming what they ought not to be. That may have been because Uncle Jack hadn't turned out at all like the resplendent figure in my head. Or maybe it was because I had witnessed Marconi's voodoo derange those kind, sensible women and transform them into shrieking strangers. Or maybe it was because during those Lughnasa weeks of 1936, we were visited on 2 occasions by my father, Jerry Evans. For the first time in my life, I had the chance to observe him.
To get a decent mirror to see ourselves in. You can see enough to do you. I'm going to throw this old brat thing out. Indeed, you're not, Chrissy. I'm the one that broke it, and the only way to avoid 7 years bad luck is to keep on using it. But you can see nothing in it. Except more and more wrinkles. Do you know what I think I might do? I think I might just start wearing lipstick. Do you hear this, Maggie? Steady on, girl. Today it's lipstick, tomorrow it's the gin bottle. I think I just might. As long as Kate's not around, you don't want to make a pagan of yourself. Far too pale. No mousy hair, and a bit of colour. What for? What indeed? Make a nice dress, that wouldn't it? Oh, God forgive me. Will you come to Abyssinia? Will you come? Bring your own puppets of surrendable. Who's the leading will be there? With their flames in the air. Will you come to Abyssinia? Will you come? I know that, Maggie. You should be on the stage, Rosie. Rose Monday, where's your modesty? Is that not more like it? Oh, look at this woman! I've told you a dozen times, battery's dead. It's not. Went for me a while ago. You'll see, takes on nothing. Told you. That all set's useless? Kate will have no battery back with her. If it's the battery that's wrong. Is Abyssinia in Africa? Yes. Is there a war there? Yes, I told you that. But that's not where Father Jack was, is it? Jack was in Uganda, Rosie. It's a different part of Africa, you know that. Yes, I do. I'll know that. Will ya vote for Dave Valeria? Will you vote? If you don't, you'll be like Gandhi and his goat. Uncle Bill from Bunting class, the largest of his Will ya vote for Dave Valeria? Will you vote? The parable should be on the stage, Rosie. The parable should be on the stage, Jackie. Is that one of yours out there? God knows. As long as he's quiet. Well, he's making something. Looks like a kite. Michael! Oh, that was the wrong thing to do. He's going to have your hair frisked. Mine's like a wind bush. Will you wash it for me tonight, Maggie? Are we off for a big dance somewhere? After I put Michael to bed, how about then? I'm your man. Pity there aren't some boys about to play with. Now we're talking. Couldn't we all do with that? Wouldn't it be just great if we had... Shh. What is it? I thought I heard Father Jack at the back door. I hope Kate remembers his quinine. She'll remember. Kate forgets nothing. There's going the hall next soldier, Daddy. I think maybe I'll go.
Yes?
And I might be meeting somebody there.
Who's that?
I'm not saying.
Do we know him?
I'm not saying.
You'll enjoy that, Rosie. You love the last picture we saw.
He wants to bring me up to the back hills next Sunday. Up to Lughnasa. His father has a boat there. And I'm thinking, maybe I'll bring a bottle of milk with me. And not enough money saved to buy a packet of chocolate biscuits.
Danny Bradley is a Scot, Rose.
I never said it was Danny Bradley.
He's a married man with 3 young children.
That's where you're wrong, Mrs. Sawyer. She left him 6 months ago. He would take them.
Rose, look.
And he told her he had a talk first thing on Monday. Don't you dare lecture me.
Everybody in town knows that
You're jealous of me too. That's what's wrong with the whole of you. You're jealous of me. He calls me his rosebud, Aggie. He waited for me outside the chapel gate last Christmas morning, and he gave me this. That's from a rosebud. He said,
Is it a fish, Rosie?
isn't it lovely? It's made of pure silver, and it brings you good luck.
It is lovely.
I wear it all the time. It's like my miraculous medal. I love him, Aggie.
I know.
Fast!
Summertime was nearly over. Blue Italian skies above. I said, Mister, I'm a rover. Can't you spare a sweet word of love? Choo, 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 choo,
What was I to know that?
Didn't you see me ironing? Now you've looked. Get out of my room, will you, Rosie? Look. Would you get me a hand with this? It won't work a bit faster. We'll never get 2 dozen pairs finished this week. What are these supposed to be?
Kites!
Kites! God help your wit.
Watch where you're walking, Aunt Maggie. You're standing on a tail.
Did it squeal? I'll make a deal with your cob. I'll give you a penny if those old kites ever get off the ground, right?
You're wrong.
I've new business for you.
Keep up.
What goes round the house and sits in the corner? A broom. Why is a river like a watch?
You're pathetic.
Because it never goes far without winding. Hurry out and hurry in, lift your foot and stab it in. What is it?
Keep up.
Think, will you?
Keep up.
Have even one grain in your head?
Keep up.
A sock.
A what?
A sock! A sock! A sock, you know! Lift your foot and stab it. You know what your trouble is, Cub. You are book stupid.
Look out, there's a rat. Caught you again, Aunt Maggie.
You evil wee brat. I won't forget that. I'll forgive you. I'll get you for that one, Michael. Don't you worry. And I have a barley sugar sweet for you.
Are there bits of cigarette tobacco stuck to it?
Jesus Christ. Someday you're going to fill some woman's life full of happiness. There! I hope you choked ya!
When I saw Uncle Jack for the first time, the reason I was so shocked by his appearance was that I expected, well, I suppose the hero from a schoolboy's book. Once I had seen a photograph of him, radiant and splendid in his officer's uniform. It had fallen out of Aunt Kate's prayer book, and she snatched it from me before I could study it in detail. It was a picture taken in 1917, when he was chaplain to the British forces in East Africa, and he looked magnificent. But Aunt Kate had been involved locally in the War of Independence, so Father Jack's brief career in the British Army was never referred to in that house. All the same, wonderful Father Jack of that photo was the image of him that I had lodged in my mind. But if he was a hero to me, he was a hero and a saint to my mother and to my aunts. They pored over his occasional letters. They prayed every night for him and for his lepers and for the success of his mission. They scraped and saved for him. A sixpence here, a shilling there. Sacrifices they made willingly, joyously, so that they could have a little money to send to him at Christmas and for his birthday. And every so often, when a story would appear in the Donegal Inquirer about our own leper priest, as they called him, because Ballybeg was proud of him, the whole of Donegal was proud of him, it seemed only natural that our family would enjoy a small share of that fame. It gave us a little bit of status in the eyes of the parish, and it must have helped my aunts to bear the shame that mother had brought on the household by having me, as it was called then, out of wedlock.
Now that's what I call a busy man. Come here and give your Aunt Kate a big kiss. And what's all this? It's a kite, is it?
It's 2 kites.
Certainly is 2 kites, and they're the most wonderful kites I've ever seen. And what are these designs?
Their faces, I painted them.
Oh, good Lord, they put the heart across me. What are they? Devils? Ghosts? I wouldn't like to see those land up in the sky looking down at me. Hold on now. Do you know what this is? Of course you do, a spinning top. And this is the whip. Do you know how to use it? Indeed you do. What do you say?
Thanks.
Thank you, Aunt Kate. And do you know what I have in here? A new library book with coloured pictures. We'll begin reading it tonight at bedtime. Call me the moment you're ready to fly them. I wouldn't miss that for all the world. Do you know what is that up there? Did you see Christina making 2 kites?
Some kites he'll make.
All by himself, no help from anybody.
He always said he was chatting to Kate.
No question about that. And very mature for his years.
Very cheeky for his years.
Think he's beautiful, Chris. I wish you were mine.
Is that a spinning top he has?
It's nothing.
Kate, you haven't spoiled. Where did you get it?
Morgan's Arcade.
And I'm sure he didn't even thank you for
I
it.
know why you went into Morgan. He did indeed. He's very mannerly. Welcome to see us in Morgan. Every field along the road, they're all at the hay and the corn. You have a notion of that almost in Morgan. You want to be a good harvest by the look of it. I know you have. She's blushing. Look, isn't she blushing?
He's put a stitch in his hand,
Rosie.
Rosie.
She's going with the wee old thing from Carrickfan. Rose, what Austin Morgan does or doesn't do with the wee. Why are you blushing then? She's blushing, isn't she? Why,
For
kid?
God's sake, Rose, shut up, would you?
Anyhow, we all know you always
Rose.
say it.
Pass me those steel needles, would you please? Are you tired?
That road from town gets longer every day. You can laugh if you want, but I am going to get the whole bike fixed up, and I am going to learn to ride this winter.
Many about Ballybeg.
Ballybeg's off its head, I'm telling you. Everywhere you go, everyone you meet, it's the one topic. Are you going to the harvest dance? Who are you going with? What are you wearing? This year's going to be the biggest ever and the best ever.
All the same, I remember some great harvest dances.
Don't we all? And then are those riveting Annie M. P. Smith novels for you, Agnes?
Ah, thanks.
Very diverse hardy. Oh dear. For you, Christina, 1 teaspoonful every morning before breakfast.
What's this?
Cod liver oil. You're far too pale.
Thank you, Kate.
Because you take no exercise. Anyhow, I'm in the chemist shop, and this young girl, a wee slip of a thing, can't even think of her name. Her mother's a knitting and divides her blogs, Agnes.
There we go often.
Her daughter, whatever you call her.
Sophia.
Miss Sophia, who must be all of 15. She comes up to me and she says, I hope you're not going to miss the harvest dance, Miss Mundy. It's going to be just so brave this year. And honest to God, if you'd seen the delight in her eyes, you'd think it was heaven she was talking about. Off its head, I'm telling you, like a fever in the place. That's the quinine. The doctor says it won't cure the malaria, but it might help to contain it. Is he in his room?
He's wandering about the back somewhere.
I told the doctor you thought him very quiet, Agnes.
Yes?
Well, didn't you? And the doctor says we must remember how strange everything here must be to him after so long. And on top of that, Swahili has been his language for 25 years. So it's not that his mind is confused, it's just that he has difficulty remembering the English words for what he wants to say.
No matter what the doctor says, Kate, his mind is a bit confused. Sometimes he doesn't know the difference between us. I've heard him calling you Rose. Calls me some strange name, like
Okawa.
That's it. You've heard him have a jag.
Okawa was his houseboy. He was very attached to him. I think I'm getting corns in this foot. I hope to God I don't end up crippled like poor mother. May she rest in peace.
Wouldn't it be a good one if we all went?
Where?
To the harvest dance? Happy. Like we used to. All dressed up. I think I'd go. I'd go too. I'd go with you.
For heaven's sake, you're not serious, Agnes, are you?
I think I am.
Ha! There's more than Ballybeg off its head.
I think we should all go.
Have you any idea what it'll be like? Crawling with cheeky young brats I taught years ago.
I'm game. We couldn't, Aggie.
Could we? And all the riffraff of the countryside.
I'm game.
God, Aggie, you know how I love dancing.
What do you say?
You have a 7-year-old child. Have you forgotten that?
You could wear that blue dress of mine. You have the figure for it, and it brings out the color of your eyes.
But I haven't.
Oh, God, I could dance non-stop all night. All week.
Oh, my poor look after Father Jack.
You could wear that cotton dress you got for confirmation last year. So beautiful in it, Kate.
What sort of silly talk
You
is this?
could wear my brown shoes with the crossover straps.
This is silly talk. We can't, Agnes. How can we?
Maggie, go with us. Well, Maggie, what? You try and stop her.
Oh, God, Agnes, what do you think?
We're going.
Are we off for late? Maybe we're mad or bad.
It's past 4 and 6 to get in.
Oh.
I can't say, don't take you. Well, I'll take us all.
Hold on now.
How many years has it been since we were at the harvest dance? At any dance. I don't care how young they are. How drunk and dirty and sweaty they are. I want to dance, Kate. It's a festival of Lughnasa. I'm only 35. I want to dance.
I know, Agnes, I know. Oh, the same. Oh, my God, I don't know.
We're going. The movie girls will find us together like we used to.
I love you more than chocolate biscuits.
Will you come to our city? Oh, will you come?
Bring your own gun and over there nowhere. What is it? Look at yourselves, will you? Just look at yourselves. Dancing at our time of day? That's for young people with no duties and no responsibilities. Nothing in their heads but pleasure. Do you want the whole countryside to be laughing at us? What's come over you all? And this is Father Jack's home. We must never forget that, ever. No, we're going to no harvest dance. But you just and there'll be no more discussion about it. The matter's over. I don't want it mentioned again.
The box is back.
Did you see him?
Yeah, the hole shoot in the hen house door.
Did you get a good look at him, Aunt Maggie?
Wasn't I talking to him? He was asking for you.
Ha ha. What's that you have in your hands?
Oh, something I found.
What?
Sitting very still at the foot of the holly tree.
Show me.
Say please 3 times.
Please, please, please.
In Swahili.
Are you going to show it to me or are you not?
Now put your ear over here. Listen. Shh. You hear it?
I think so, yes.
What do you hear?
Something.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. Show me, Aunt Maggie.
All right, I'll get back a bit. A bit further, right?
Yes. What was it?
Did you see it?
I think so, yes.
Wasn't it wonderful?
Was it a bird?
The colors are just so beautiful. Trouble is, just one quick glimpse. That's all you ever get. And if you miss that,
What was it, Aunt Maggie?
don't you know what it was? It was all in your mind. So there, now it fits. See? Soft Indian meal jelly. I'm sick of that white rooster of yours, Rosie. Some pet that. Look at the love he took out of my arm. We don't speak to him right. I know the speaking he'll get from me. The weight of my boot. Chrissy mustn't turn on the fire. I'm gonna make some soda bread. Watch out. She's in one of her cranky moods. Your 10 wildwood by baby. Great. The tongue's out of mile.
You missed it all, Maggie.
What did I miss this time?
You were all going to the harvest dumps, like in the old days, and then chaos
Goes. The shoemaker says whatever kind of feet you have, only the inside of the soles wear down.
Is that a bad thing?
That is neither a bad thing nor a good thing. It's just distinctive as might be expected. Corn flour. Salt, tapioca, it's gone up a penny for some reason. Sugar for the bilberry jam, if we ever get the bilberries. Look at the packet of wild woodbine she got me.
What's wrong with it?
Only 9 cigarettes in it. They're so wild, one of them must have escaped on her.
Doesn't Jack sometimes call you Okawa too, Maggie?
Yes, what does it mean?
Okawa was his houseboy, Kate says.
Damn it, I thought it was Swahili for guard. That's the very thing we could do with here, a houseboy.
And the bathroom.
The man in the shop says we go through these things quicker than anyone in Ballybay. Good for us. I met the parish priest. Don't know what's happened to that man, but ever since Father Jack came home, he can hardly look me in the eye. That's because you keep winking at him, Kate.
He was always moody, that man.
Maybe that's it. Paper, candles, matches. The word's not good on a young Sweeney boy from the back hills. He's anointed lessons. I didn't know he was dying. Not an inch of his body is burned. Does anybody know what's happened? Some silly prank up in the hills.
What sort of prank?
How would I know?
What are they saying in the town?
I know no more than I told you, Christina.
It was last Sunday week. The first night of the festival of Lughnasa, and they were doing what they do every year out there in the back hill.
Festival of Lughnasa, what sort of nonsense?
First, the lads of bonfire beside a spring well, and then the dogs round it. And then they drove the cotton through the flames to banish the devil onto them.
Banish the... You
And
don't know
this year, there was an extra big crowd of boys and girls. They were off their heads and drink. Young Swedish trousers caught fire and went up like a torch. And that's what happened.
Who filled their head with this nonsense?
They do it to every Lughnasa. I'm telling you, that's what happened.
They're savages, that's what they are. And what pagan practices they have are no concern of ours, none whatever. It's a sorry day to hear talk like that in a Christian home, a Catholic home. All I can say is I'm shocked and disappointed to hear you repeating rubbish like that, Rose.
That's what happened. I'm telling you.
All the same, it would be very handy in the winter time to have a wee house where to feed the hens.
I beg your pardon. Wrong apartment. Forgive me.
Come in and join us, Jack.
May I?
You're looking well, Jack.
Yes. I expected to enter my bedroom to that. What I am missing. I had a handkerchief in my pockets, and I think perhaps
Here. Here's a handkerchief.
Thank you. I am grateful. It is so strange. I don't recollect the layout of this home. Scarcely. It is strange. Now the front door was there. You walked to the village to buy stores, Agnes.
It's Kate, and dozens of people were asking for you.
They remember me.
Of course they remember you. And when you're feeling stronger, they're going to have a great public welcome for you. Flags, bands, speeches, everything.
Why would they do this?
Because they're delighted you're home.
Afraid I don't remember any of them. I don't think I could name 10 people in Ballybeg now.
It'll all come back to you. Don't worry.
You think so?
Yes, it will.
Perhaps. I feel the climate so cold. If you'll forgive me.
Why don't you lie down for a while?
I may do that. I thank you. You are most kind.
It will be a slow process, but he'll be fine. Apples, butter, margarine, flour. And wait till you hear. Who will I meet in the post office? Maggie, are you listening to me?
Yes.
You'll never believe it. Your old pal, Bernie O'Donnell. Home from London, first time back in 20 years. Bernie, absolutely gorgeous. Figure of a girl of 18, dressed to kill from head to foot, and the hair as black and curly as the day she left. I can't tell you, a film star.
Bernie O'Donnell.
And beside her, two of the most beautiful children you ever laid eyes on. Twins. They'll be 14 next month. To see the three of them together. Like sisters, I'm telling you.
Twin girls. Identical.
Nora and Nina. Mother used to say twins are a double blessing.
Bernie O'Donnell. Oh my goodness.
And wait till you hear. They are pure blonde. Where in the name of God did the blonde hair come from? I asked her. The father Eric, she says. He's from Stockholm. Stockholm? Where's Stockholm, Maggie? So there you are. Bernie O'Donnell married to a Swede. I couldn't believe my eyes. Asking about everybody by name. She remembered us all. Knew all about Michael. Had his age to the very month. Was Agnes still the quickest knitter in Ballybeg? Were none of us thinking of getting married? And weren't we wise?
Did you remember me?
Rose had the sweetest smile I ever saw.
There.
But asking especially for you, Maggie. Every time she thinks of you, she says she has the memory of the two of you hiding behind the first stack, passing a cigarette between you, and holding about and laughing about a boy called... What was it? Curly somebody?
Curly McDade. An agent of a fellow, bald as an egg at 17. Bernie O'Donnell. Oh my goodness. Will she be around for a while?
Leaving tomorrow.
Oh, we won't see her so. That's a pity. Nice names, aren't they? Nina and Nora.
I like Nora. Nice name. Strong.
Not so sure about Nina. Do you like Nina for a name? Nina. No, not a lot.
Well, if there's a saint, Nina, I'm afraid she's not in my prayer book.
Ah, maybe she's a Swedish saint.
Saints in Sweden? Well, it'd be next.
Mother used to say twins are a double blessing.
You've offered us that cheap wisdom already, Rose.
When I was 16, I remember slipping out one Sunday night. It was this time of year, the beginning of August, and Bernie and I met at the gate of the workhouse, and the pair of us off to a dance in Ardstraw. I was being pestered by a fellow named Tim Carlin at the time. It was really Brian McGinnis that I was keen on. Remember Brian with the white hands and the longest eyelashes you ever saw? Of course, he was crazy about Bernie. Anyhow, the two boys took us on the bars of their bicycles, and off the four of us headed to Ardstraw, 15 miles each way. If Daddy had known, may he rest in peace. And at the end of the night, there was a competition for the best military two-step, and it was down to 3 couples. The local couple from Ardstraw, wee Timmy and myself. He was up to there on me. Brian, Bernie. They were just so beautiful together. So stylish. You couldn't take your eyes off them. People just stopped dancing and gazed at them. And when the judges announced the winners, they were probably blind drunk. Naturally, the local couple came first. And Timmy and myself came second. And Brian and Bernie came third. Poor Bernie was stunned. She couldn't believe it. Couldn't talk. Wouldn't speak to any of us for the rest of the night. Wouldn't even cycle home with us. She was right to be angry too, Bernie. They should have won. They were just so beautiful together. And that was the last time I saw Brian McGinnis. I remember Brian. The next thing I heard, he left for Australia. She was right to be angry, Bernie. It wasn't fair. I know it wasn't fair at all. Those judges must have been blind drunk, whoever they were.
Is it working now, Christina?
What's that?
Marconi.
Marconi. Yes. Should be. Feel the top? Is it warm? Roasting. Turn it off till it cools down. Bloody useless setback.
No need for corner boy language, Christina.
There must be some reason why it overheats.
Because it's a goddamn bloody useless set, that's why.
Goddamn bloody useless.
Are Wellingtons absolutely necessary on a day like this, Rose?
Well, of all my Wellingtons and my Sunday shoes, Kate. This is not Sunday, is it?
Oh dear, we're suddenly very logical, aren't we?
I'll tell you something, girls. This Ginger Rogers has seen better days.
If those cigarettes are killing you, then.
Wonderful wild woodbine. Next best thing to a wonderful wild man. What a drag, Kitty.
Go and wash your face, Maggie. And for goodness sake, tie those laces.
Yes, miss. Where's Michael, Prissy? Working at the kites, isn't he? He's not there, he's not. Won't go far.
But he was there 10 minutes ago.
He'll be all right.
He goes down. Just leave me alone for once.
Will you please?
Who's making the tea this evening?
Paul makes the tea every evening.
Connections seem to be all right. Please take your necklace off, Christina.
It's a valve that's gone. If I knew what a valve looked like,
You no sense of propriety.
yes, me. We should just throw it out. I'd be out for that. Junk that sense.
Goddamn and bloody useless. And you'll buy a new one, will you?
It never was any good.
You'll buy half of your glove. I thought the money you and Rose are knitting gloves was barely sufficient to clothe the pair of you.
This isn't your classroom, Kate.
Because I certainly don't see any of it being offered for the upkeep of the house.
Please,
But here it stretches to buy a new wireless one.
I make every meal you sit down to every day of the week.
Maybe I should start knitting gloves.
I wash every stitch of clothes you wear. I polish your shoes. We both do, Rose and I. We cut the grass and paint the house, sweep the chimney, save the turf. But have your kids are two unpaid servants.
And do you know what your nickname at school is? The Gander. Everybody calls you the Gander. Come here, do you see? Look who's coming up the lane.
I only got his legs signed, but I'm almost sick.
It's Jerry Evans, Chrissy.
Christ almighty! She's at the bend in the lane! Jesus Christ almighty!
How dare Mr. Evans show his face here?
We'll have to give him his tea.
I don't see why we should.
And there's nothing in the house!
No business at all coming here and upsetting everybody.
You're right, kid. I hate him.
Oh, and look at the state of that floor.
Maybe he just wants to be Father Jack.
Father Jack may have something to say to Mr. Evans. Hey, just put those clothes away.
My woodbine? Where's my woodbine?
You won't stay the night here. Well, we most certainly won't stay the night at this house.
Has anybody got spare shoelaces? A bit of corn? A piece of twine?
Everyone behaves quite normally, be very calm and very dignified. No stuff peeping out.
There's nobody coming at all.
Let me see.
You imagined it, Maggie.
Oh,
He's not there at all.
Yes, he is. Maggie's right, there he is.
Show me.
I see a walking stick
Yes.
and a straw hat.
Yes.
It's Mr. Evans, all right. Yes, there he is.
Oh, sweet God, look at the state of me. What'll I say to him? How close is he? I couldn't look that man in the face. I just hate him. Hate him.
That's a very unchristian thing to say, Rose. There's no look in talk like that.
My hands. I'm shaking.
You are not shaking. You are perfectly calm. And you are looking beautiful. And what you're going to do is this. You'll meet him outside. You'll tell him his son is healthy and happy. Then you'll send him packing. Yourself and Michael are managing quite well without him, as you always have. Oh. Of course, ask him in. And give the preacher his tea. And stay the night if he wants to. But in the outside loft, and alone. Now, I brought a newspaper home with me. Did anybody see where I left it?
Where is he, Maggie? In the garden.
Agnes, did you see where I left the paper. It's on the table, Kate.
How are you, Chrissy? Great to see you.
Hello, Jerry.
And how have you been for the past 6 months?
13 months.
13. Never.
July last year. July 7th.
Wow. Where does the time go? 13 months. Phew. A dozen times. 2 dozen times I planned to visit and then something turned up and I couldn't get away.
But we're here now.
Certainly am. And that was a bit of good fortune. Last night in a bar in Sligo, bumped into this chappie with a brand new Morris Cowley, who let slip that he's headed for Ballybeg in the morning. Ballybeg? Something familiar about that name. So, here I am, in the flesh as a matter of interest. Bit of good luck that, wasn't it? He just let it slip. Here I am. Oh, wonderful luck.
Yes.
Looks terrified, poor fella.
Terrified, my God. Come here till you see him, Agnes.
Not just now. I'm sure he could do with a good meal.
I'll give him 3 minutes, and then if she doesn't hunt him, I will.
You're looking wonderful, Chrissy. Really great. Terrific.
My hair's like a wind rush.
Looks lovely to me.
Maggie's going to wash it for me tonight.
And how's Maggie?
Fine.
And Rose. And Kate.
Grand.
And Agnes.
Everybody's well, thank you.
That what I was asking for. Agnes.
I asked you, but the place is really not.
No, some other time. Things all the same. The old schedule's a bit tight today. And the chap who gave me the lift tells me Father Jack's home.
Just a few weeks ago.
All the way from Africa.
Yes.
Safe and sound.
Yes.
Terrific.
Yes.
Lucky man.
Yes.
Must put on some exercise. Putting on too much weight. I'll take up some exercise.
He's not still there, you see.
Yes.
No one, what in God's name?
Talking.
Can someone please tell me what the two of them have to say to each other?
He's Michael's father, Kate.
That's a responsibility never burdened Mr. Evans.
Commercial traveller called into Kate's school last Easter, and he had met you somewhere in Dublin, and he had some stupid story about you giving dance lessons up there.
He was right.
It was not, Jerry.
Cross the old ticker.
Real lessons?
All last winter.
What sort of dance?
Strictly ballroom. Oh, you're the one should have been given. You're always far better than me, don't you remember? Oh, that was fun while it lasted. I enjoyed that.
And people came to you to be taught.
I don't look so surprised. Everybody wants to dance. I had thousands of pupils. Millions.
Jerry.
53. Pamela, 51. And when the good weather came, they all drifted away. Shame, really. Yes, I enjoyed that. But I've just started a completely new career as a matter of interest. Never been busier. Gramophone salesman, agent for the whole country, if you don't mind. Minerva Gramophones, the wise guy.
Sounds good, Jerry.
Fabulous. All I have to do is to get the orders and pass them on to Dublin. A big enterprise, Chrissy. Oh, one very big enterprise.
And it's going all right for you.
Unbelievable. The wholesaler can't keep up with me. You see this country? This country is gramophone crazy. Give you an example. Day before yesterday, just west of Argyle, spots this small house up on the side of a hill. Something seemed just right about it, you know. Off the bike, up the villain, knocks. Out comes this enormous chappie with red hair. And he, what are you laughing at? We're on the show. I show him the brochures. We talk about them for 10 minutes, and just like that, he takes 4. 1 for himself, and 3 for the married daughters.
He took 4 gramophones.
4 brochures. But he'll buy. I promise you, he'll buy. Tell you this, Chrissy, people thought gramophones had been a thing in the past when radios came in, but they were wrong. in my experience, I've found that... Don't turn around. But he's watching us from behind that bush.
Michael?
Pretend you don't notice, just carry on. This all his stuff?
He's making kites if you don't mind.
Unbelievable. I got a glimpse of him down at the foot of the lake. He's just enormous.
He's in school, you know.
Never. Wow, 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 wow. Since when?
Since Christmas. Kate's got in early.
Fabulous. And he likes it.
Doesn't say much.
He loves it. And he'll be brilliant at school. Actually, I intended bringing him something small.
Oh, no, Jerry. His aunt's having spoiled.
Just a talking, really. As a matter of interest, I was looking at a bicycle in Coger last Monday. But they only had it in blue, and I thought, black. Might be more, manly. I took my name and all. Call next time I'm down there. Are you busy yourself?
The usual. Housework. Looking after his large.
Wonderful.
The Magnuson Roads, kind of the knitting. The odd of sewing. You don't sell sewing machines.
That's an idea. Do the two jobs together. Make an absolute fortune. You have the most unbelievable business, Chrissy. I've never met anything like it. What are you laughing at?
You should see the way she looks at him. You'd think he was the biggest talk in the world.
Tinker, more likely. Come over till you see him, Maggie.
Not just now.
You'd never guess what I met out on the road from the town. Talk about good luck. A cow with a single horn coming straight out of the middle of his forehead.
You never did.
As God is my judge, walking along by itself, nobody near it.
Jerry.
And just as I was passing it stopped and looked me straight in the eye.
Well, that was no cow you met. That was a unicorn.
Ah, go ahead and mock. A unicorn has the body of a horse. This was a cow, a perfectly ordinary brown cow, except that it had a single horn just here. I want to tell you a lie. Go ahead, laugh, but that's what I saw. Wasn't that a spot of good luck?
Was it?
A cow with a single horn. Oh, yes, that must be a good omen. Maybe this week I'm going to sell a gramophone or two after all.
But I thought that you...
Oh, a single magpie. That's definitely a bad omen. One for sorrow. Missed. Oh, where's my lucky cow? Come back! Brown cow, come back!
They're not still talking, are they?
laughing. She laughs all the time with him. Do you hear her, Maggie?
Laughing? Absolutely beyond my comprehension.
Like so many things, Kate.
I'll give him 2 minutes and then Mr. Evans is going to talk to me. Left. Ha!
Thinking of going away for a while, Chrissy.
Where to?
But I'll come back to say goodbye first.
Are you going home to Wales?
Wales isn't my home anymore. My home is here. Well, Ireland. To Spain. As a matter of interest, just for a short while.
Just a gramophone.
Good God, no. You'll never believe this. To do a spot of fighting with the International Brigade. The company leaves in a few weeks. Bit ridiculous, isn't it? But, old Jerry when the blood's up. Missing everybody.
Are you serious?
I've been surprised myself as a matter of interest.
What do you know about Spain?
Not a lot. A little. Enough, maybe? Yes, I know enough. And I thought I should try my hand at something worthy for a change. You give Evans a big cause and he won't let you down. It's only the everyday stuff that he's not so successful at. Anyhow, it's still to enlist. He's still watching us. I think we don't see him. I wouldn't mind talking to him.
He's a bit shy.
Naturally. And I'm a stranger to him, practically. Does he know my name?
Of course he knows your name, Jerry.
Good. Thanks. Well, maybe not so good. He's a very handsome child. With your eyes. Lucky boy.
half the time. Aggie says it's a heap of junk.
Well, I know nothing about radios, but I'll take a look at it.
Maybe next time, when you come back.
And Agnes as well.
Fine.
Of all your sisters, she was the one seemed to object least to me. Tell her I was asking for her.
I'll tell her.
Good too.
Jerry.
Come on.
Come here, you ads.
Number.
Oh, Jerry. They're watching us.
Oh, it is.
Aggie and Aggie from the kitchen window.
Also, Keith.
And Father Jack.
Oh, better still. Terrific.
They're dancing. They're dancing around the garden, Aggie.
Leave them astray again, Maggie.
Look at her face. She's easy led. Come over till you see them, Aggie. Lizzie, for God's sake, can't you see them, Lizzie?
That the only thing that Ella's creature could ever do well was dance. I wonder for the fool. For God's sake, would you look at that fool of a woman? Her whole face alters when she's happy, doesn't it? They dance so well together. They're such a beautiful couple. She's as beautiful as Bernie O'Donnell any day, isn't she?
Marry me, Chrissy? Are you listening to me?
I hear you.
Will you marry me when I come back in 2 weeks?
I don't think so, Jerry.
I'm mad about you. You know I am. I've always been mad about you.
When you're with me,
I'll leave this house and come away
but
with
you'd
me.
walk out on me again. You wouldn't intend to, but that's what would happen. Because that's your nature and you can't help yourself.
Not this time, Chrissy. This time.
Don't talk anymore. No more words. Just dancing down the lane and then leave.
Believe me, Chrissy. This time the omens are friendly. The omens are unbelievable this time.
They're away. Dance.
Whatever's wrong with it, that's all it seems to last. A few minutes at a time. Something to do with the way it heats up.
We probably won't see Mr. Evans for another year. Until the humor suddenly takes him again.
He has a Christian name.
And in the meantime, it's Christina's heart that gets crushed again. But what really infuriates me is that the creature has no sense of ordinary duty. Does he ever wonder how she clothes and feeds Michael? Does he ask her? Does he care?
Go on now to get my head cleared. Bit of a headache all day.
Seems to me the beast of the field have more concern for the young than that creature has.
Do you ever listen to yourself, Kate? You're such a damn righteous bitch. Oh, and his name is Jerry. Jerry! Jerry!
What was that all about?
Who's to say?
Don't I know his name is Jerry? Oh, what am I calling him, St. Patrick?
She's worried about Chris too.
You see, that's what a creature like Mr. Evans does. Appears out of nowhere and suddenly poisons the atmosphere in the whole house. God forgive him, the bastard! There, that's what I mean. God forgive me.
Was on the isle of Capri that he found her, beneath the shade of an old walnut tree. Oh, I can still see the flowers blooming round her, where they met.
You know your prayers as well as you know the words of those old pagan songs.
She was as sweet as a rose in the dawning, but somehow
She's right, isn't she? I am a righteous bitch, haven't I?
As they sailed with the tide in the morning, still his heart's in the Isle of Capri. Now who's for a foxtrot?
You work hard at your job. You try to keep the home together. You perform your duties as best you can because you believe in responsibilities and obligations and good order. And then suddenly you realize that hair cracks are appearing everywhere, that control is slipping away, that the whole thing is so fragile it can't be held together much longer. It's all got to collapse, Maggie.
Nothing's about to collapse, Kate.
That young sweetie boy, the one who was anointed, his trousers didn't catch fire, he was roasted. They were doing some devilish thing with the goat, some sort of sacrifice for the Lughnasa festival, and Sweetie was so drunk he tumbled over into the middle of the bonfire. Don't know why that came into my head.
Kate.
Mr. Evans is off again for another 12 months. And next week, or the week after, Christina will collapse into one of her depressions again. Remember last winter? I don't think I could go through that again. And the doctor says he doesn't think Father Jack's mind is confused, but that his superiors probably had no choice but send him home. Whatever he means by that, maybe. And the parish priest did talk to me today. He said the numbers are in the school are falling, and there may not be a job for me after the summer. But the numbers aren't falling, Meg. Why is he telling me lies? Why does he want rid of me? And why does he never come out to visit Father Jack? If he gives me the push, all five of us will be at home together all day long. We can spend the day dancing tomorrow morning. But what worries me most of all is Rose. If I died, if I lost my job, if this house were broken up, what would become of our Rosie? I must put my trust in God, maybe, mustn't I? He'll look after her, won't he? You believe that, Maggie, don't you?
Kate, no.
I believe that, too. I believe that, too.
Well, now that you've had a good look at him, what do you think of him? Do you remember him?
I never saw him before.
Yes, you did. 5 or 6 times. You've forgotten. And he saw you at the foot of the lane, and he thinks you've gotten big, and he thinks you're handsome.
Aunt Kate's got me a spinning top that won't spin.
He is handsome. Isn't he handsome?
Keep on.
Oh, I'll tell you a secret, but the others aren't to know. He has a great new job, and he's wonderful at it.
What does he do?
Shh. And he bought a bicycle for you. Black bike. A man's bike. And he's going to bring it with him the next time he comes.
Is he coming back soon?
Yes. Yes, he is.
How soon?
Soon. Yes, you have a handsome father. You're a lucky boy. And I am a very, very lucky boy. And another bit of good news for you, lucky boy. You've got your mother's eyes. And what's the good news here? The good news is that's the most exciting turf we've ever burned.
Jerry's not gone, is he?
Just this minute. And he thanks you very much for the offer of the bed.
Next time he's back,
That'll be in a week or 2. depending on his commitments.
Well, if the outside loft happens to be empty.
And he sends his love to you all, and a special love to you, Aggie, and a big kiss.
A ring?
Yes, for you. Those are beautiful, Aggie. Would Jack like some in his room? Put them on the windowsill with a wee card, roses. The poor man's head won't be demented looking for the word. And now, girls, the daily dilemma. What's for the tea? Let me make the tea, Maggie. We'll both make the tea. Perhaps something thrilling with tomatoes. We've got two, I think. Or if you're prepared to wait, I'll make some soda bread.
I'm making the tea, Maggie.
Let me, please. Just this once.
I make the tea every evening, don't I? Why shouldn't I make it this evening as usual?
No reason at all. Aggie's the chef. Everybody's doing it, kicking their nose and doing it. If she knew her prayers, half as well as she knew the words to those old pagan songs.
If anybody's looking for me, I'll be down at the bank of the river for the rest of... I beg your pardon. I'm mindless. It's Kate.
It's Kate.
And Agnes. And Margaret.
How are you, Jack?
And this is...
Christina.
Oh, forgive me, Chris. You were just a baby when I went away. I remember Mother lifting you up in her arms as the train was pulling out of the station and catching your hand and waving it at me. Oh, you were so young, you had scarcely any hair. Oh, but she had managed to attach a tiny pink... What's the word? A bow. A bow. Just about here. And as she was waving her hand, both of them. It's like a picture. A camera picture. A photograph. It's like a photograph in my mind.
The hair isn't much better even now, Jack.
And I remember you crying, Margaret.
Was I?
Yes, your face was all blotchy with tears.
Oh, to be sure. Beautiful as ever.
And you and Kate were on Mother's right, and Rose was in between. They each had a hand. And Mother's face, I remember, showed nothing. I often wondered about that afterwards.
Because she knew she'd never see you again in her lifetime.
Oh, I know that. But in the other life, what do you think? Perhaps Mother didn't believe in the ancestral spirits.
Ancestors? What are you blathering about, Jack? Mother was a saintly woman who knew she was going straight to heaven. And don't you forget to take your medicine again this evening. You're supposed to take it 3 times a day.
One of our priests took so much quinine that he became an addict and almost died. A German priest. Father Sharpay. He was rushed to hospital in Kampala, but they could do nothing for him. So Okawa and I drove him to our local medicine man, and Karl Sharpay lived until he was 88.
Ooh.
There was a strange white bird on the windowsill when I woke up this morning.
Oh, that's Rosie's pet rooster. Keep away from that thing.
Look at the lump he took out of my arm. One of these days I'm going to wring his neck.
Well, that's what we're doing Rianga when we want to please the spirits. Or appease them. We kill a rooster or a young goat. It's a very exciting exhibition. That's not the word, is it? The word to describe a sacred and mysterious. You have a ritual killing. You offer up sacrifice. You have dancing and incantations. Gone. Lost it. Our vocabulary has deserted. Never mind, it doesn't matter. I think perhaps I should put on more clothes.
Did you speak Swahili all the time out there, Jack?
All the time, yes, to the people of Swahili. When Europeans called, we spoke English. Well, the present commissioner knows Swahili, but he won't speak it. He and I fight a lot, but I like him. The Irish outcast, he calls me. He's always inviting me to spend the weekend with him in Kampala to keep me from going native, as he calls it. Perhaps when I go back, if you cooperate with the English, they give you lots of money for churches and schools and hospitals. And he gets so angry with me when I won't take his money. It's reported me to my superiors at Head House last year. Oh, they're very cross. Oh, very cross. But I like him. Look, when I was saying goodbye to him, he thought this was very funny. He gave me a present of the last governor's ceremonial hat to take home. Ceremony. That's the word. How could I have forgotten that? Oh, the sacrifice, the ritual, the dancing, a ceremony. Such a simple word. What was it telling me?
Or the district commissioner that gave us presents?
Yes, a wonderful triangular hat with 3 enormous ostrich plumes rising out of the crowd. I have it in one of my trunks to show it to you later. Sarah. Oh, so glad I got that. Do you know what I found very strange? Coming back in the boat, there were days when I couldn't remember even the simplest words. Not that anybody seemed to notice. And you can always point, can't you?
Or make signs.
Or make signs.
Or not. What you must do is read a lot. Books, papers, magazines, anything. I read every night with young Michael. It's great for his vocabulary.
Sure, you're right, Pete. I'll do that. Well, I haven't seen young Michael today, Agnes.
Christina, Jack.
Sorry.
He's about there somewhere. Making kites if you don't mind.
And I have still to meet your husband.
I'm not married.
Huh?
Michael's father was here a while ago. Jerry Evans. Mr. Evans is a Welshman, not the best.
You were never married?
Never. We're all in the same boat, Jack. We're hoping you'll hunt about and get men for all of us.
So Michael is a love child?
Yes. Yes, I suppose he is.
He's a fine boy.
He's not a bad boy.
Now you're lucky to have him.
We're all lucky to have him.
In Rionga, women are eager to have love children. The more love children you have, the more fortunate your household is thought to be. Have you other love children?
She most certainly has not, Jack. And strange as it may seem to you, neither has Agnes, nor Rose, nor Maggie, nor myself. No, pardon for I am, but you're home in Donegal now. And as much as we cherish love children here, they're not exactly the norm. And the doctor says if you don't take exercise, your legs will seize up on you. So I'm going to walk you down to the main road and up again 3 times, and then you'll get your tea, and then you'll read the paper from front to back, and then you'll take your medicine, and then you'll go to bed. And we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that, until we have you back to what you were. Now, you start off, and I'll be with you in a second. Where's my cardigan?
Some of that Kate's forebodings weren't all that inaccurate. Indeed, some of them were fulfilled before the festival of Lughnasa was over. She was right about Uncle Jack. He had been sent home by his superiors, not because his mind was confused, but for reasons which became clear as the summer drew to a close. And she was right about losing her job in the local school. The parish priest didn't take her back when the new term began, although that had more to do with Father Jack than with both members. She had good reason for being uneasy about Rose, and had she known about Agnes too, what she couldn't have foreseen was that the home would break up quite so quickly, and that when she would wake up one morning in early September, both Rose and Agnes would have left forever. But she was wrong about my father. I suppose their natures were so out of tune that she would always be wrong about my father, because he did come back in a couple of weeks, as he said he would. And although my mother and he didn't go through the conventional form of marriage, once more they danced together, witnessed by the unseen sisters. This time it was a dance without music. Just there, in ritual circles round and round that square, and then down the lane and back up again, slowly, formally, with easy deliberation. My mother with her head thrown back, her eyes closed, her mouth slightly open. My father holding her just that little distance away from him, so that he could regard her upturned face. No singing, no melody, no words. Only the swish and whisper of their feet across the grass. I watched the ceremony from behind that bush. Oh, but this time, they were conscious only of themselves and of their dancing. And when he went away to fight in the International Brigade, my mother grieved as any bride would grieve. But this time there was no sobbing, no lamenting, no collapse into a depression.
We'll leave these back where we found them, Jack. They aren't ours. They belong to the child. Now we'll go for our walk. See the moon high above, oh play me your serenade, the one that I love. Are you getting your books ready for school again?
School doesn't start for another 10 days.
God, I always hated school. Oh play me gypsy, you and I have a little financial matter to discuss. Did you hear me, Cobb?
I'm not listening.
You owe me money.
I do not.
Oh yes you do. 3 weeks ago, I bet you a penny those old kites would never get off the ground, and they never did.
Because there was never enough wind, that's why.
Enough wind! Would you listen to him? A hurricane wouldn't shift those things. Anyhow, a debt is a debt. 1 penny, please, at your convenience. Or the equivalent in time, 1 wild woodbine beside your caravan. Right. I for tonight. You're right opinion, Cobb, and I vagabond material.
Get out of my road, will ya? I'm trying to write a letter.
Oh! That's for me to know and you to find out. Whoever it is, he'd need to be smart to read that scrawl.
It's the Santa Claus.
In September! Nothing like getting in before the rush. What are you asking for?
A bed.
A bed.
For my bicycle.
For your
For
bicycle?
the light my dad has bought me, stupid.
Your daddy's bought you a bicycle.
He told me today. He bought it in Kilkenny, so there.
Your daddy told you that.
Ask him yourself. It's coming next week. It's a black bike. It's a man's bike.
Well, aren't you the lucky boy?
It's going to be delivered here to the house. He promised me.
Well, if your daddy promised you. Now, who can we get to teach you to ride?
I know how to ride.
You don't.
I learned in school last Easter, so there. But you can't ride.
I can't so.
I know you can.
Maybe not by myself, but put me on the bar of magnificent.
You never sat on the bar of a bike in your life that time.
Oh, yes, I did, Michael. Oh, yes, indeed, I did. Now, okay, and try to settle some other day. On a day like this, you should be out running the fields like a young calf. Hold on, a new riddle for ya. A man goes to an apple tree with 2 apples on it. He doesn't take apples off it. He doesn't leave apples on it. How does he do it? Think, will you? Well, since you don't know, I will tell ya. He takes 1 apple off. Get it? He doesn't leave apples on. He doesn't take apples off.
God.
You might as well be talking to a turd stack.
Did I hear church bells ringing?
A big hush went today.
Not one of my sisters.
There's no such luck. A man called Austin Morgan and a girl from Halifax.
Austin Morgan. Should I know that name?
No, I don't think so. They own the arcade in the town. And how are you today, Jack?
Cold as usual, Maggie. And complaining about it as usual.
Laid away. Why wouldn't you? It's getting colder. But you're looking stronger every day, Jack.
I feel stronger too. Now, go for my last walk of the day.
Number 3.
Number 4. Down past the clothesline, across the stream, around the old well, and up to the mill. And when that's done, Kate won't have to nag at me. Nag. That's not a word, is it?
Nag, yes, to keep on it somebody.
Yes. Nag. So my English vocabulary is coming back too. Great. Nag. Still sounds a bit strange.
Time for another walk, Jack.
Just about to set out on number 4, Kate. Thank you for keeping at me.
Don't find your old snags yet. They'll be back for tea. They're away picking bilberries. You used to pick bilberries. Do you remember?
Down beside the old quarry.
The very place.
Mother and Lisa. Ever in Lughnasa. For the annual ritual. Of course I remember. And then she'd make the most wonderful jam. And that's what you took to school. You every day all through with her. A piece of soda bread and bilberry jam.
But no butter.
Except on special occasions when she made scones. And for some reason, they were always buttered. I must walk down to that old quarry one of these days. Oh, ruddier than the cherry. Oh, sweeter than the berry. Oh, nymph more bright than moonshine night. Like kidlings, blithe and merry. Where did that come from? You see, Kate, it's all coming back.
So you'll soon begin saying mass again?
Yes, indeed.
Here in the house?
Why not? Well, perhaps I'll start next Monday, but the neighbors will join us, wouldn't they?
Then surely would. A lot of them have been asking me already.
You do that, how will we let them know?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. News travels very quickly.
Well, what Okawa does. You know Okawa, don't you?
Your houseboy.
My friend, my mentor, my counselor. Yes, my houseboy as well. Anyhow, when Okawa summons our people, he strikes a huge iron gong. Did you hear the wedding bells this morning, Kate?
Yes.
Well, Okawa's gong would carry 4 times as far as that. But if it's one of the bigger ceremonies, well, he'll spend the whole day going around all the neighbouring villages, blowing on this enormous flute he made himself.
And they all meet in your church.
Well, I had a church. And now we meet in the common in the middle of the village. It's an important ceremony. You can have up to 300 or 400 people.
All gathered together for mass.
Maybe. Or maybe to offer sacrifice to Obi, our great goddess of the earth, so that the crops will flourish. But this time of year over there, at the Ugandan harvest time, we have 2 very wonderful ceremonies. Yes, the festival of the new yam and the festival of the sweet cassava. And they're both dedicated to our great goddess Obi.
But these aren't Christian ceremonies, Jack, are they?
Oh no! No, the Ryangans have always been faithful to their own beliefs. Look, these 2 festivals I'm telling you about. Oh, they are very special. Really magnificent. They begin very solemnly with the ritual sacrifice of a fowl or a goat or a calf down at the bank of the river. Then the ceremonial cutting and anointing of the first yams and the first cassava. Then the incantation, a chant really, that expresses our gratitude and that also acts as a rhythm or percussion for the ritual dance. And then, when the Thanksgiving is over, the dance continues. And the interesting thing is that it grows naturally into a secular celebration so that almost imperceptibly the religious ceremony ends and the community celebration takes over. We light fires, and we paint our faces, we sing local songs, and we drink palm wine, and we dance, and dance, and dance. The children, men, women, most of them lepers, many of them with misshapen limbs, with missing limbs, dancing, believe it or not, for days on end. Oh, it is the most wonderful sight you ever see. On that palm wine, they dole it out in horns. You lose all sense of time. Yes, the Ryangans are a remarkable people. There is no distinction between the religious and the secular in their culture. And their capacity for fun, for laughing, for practical jokes, honest, open hearts. In some respects, they're not unlike us. Oh, you love them, Maggie. You should come back with me. How did I get into all that? You must not be telling these long stories. Exercise time. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Only last week, it took me a half an hour to do number 4. You done a great job with me, Kate. Please, keep nagging at me. It's not Gilbert and Sullivan, is it?
Sorry?
The quotation.
What's that, Jack?
Oh, ruddier than the cherry, or sweeter than the... No, it's not Gilbert and Sullivan. It'll come back to me. I promise you. It's all coming back.
Jack, you
Yes.
are going to start saying mass again.
We agreed on next Monday, haven't we? Well, haven't we, Maggie?
Yes.
Well, at first light, the moment roses white cock crows, the harvest ceremony. You'll have to find a big gong somewhere, Kate.
I told you. You wouldn't believe me. I told you. What do you think?
He's not like a monk yet.
Yesterday, I heard about their medicine man who brought a woman back from death.
He needs more time.
And this morning it was the spirit of the tribe. When I mentioned Master, you saw how he dodged about.
He said he'd say mass next Monday, Kate.
No, he won't. You know he won't. He's changed, man.
In another month, he'll be
Completely changed. He's not our Jack at all. And it's what he's changed into that frightens me.
It doesn't frighten me.
If you saw your face, of course it does. Oh, dear God.
All the same, Kitty, I don't think it's a sight I'd like to see.
What sight?
A clatter of lepers trying to do the military two-step.
God forgive you, Maggie, but the poor creature. This must be all the family lady. Not a word of it is spoiled by this volunteer here. Not a syllable.
No false modesty. You know you're a great dancer.
I'm not.
Ah, you should be a professional dancer.
You're talking rubbish.
Let's dance around the garden again.
We're going nowhere. We've done that. I'm down the lane and up again with out music. And that's enough for one day. Now, tell me about signing up. Was it really in a church?
I'm telling you, it was unbelievable.
It was a real church.
It was a Catholic church as a matter of interest.
I don't believe a word of it.
Oh, would I tell you a lie? And up at the end, in the sanctuary, there were 3 men, 2 of them with French coats, and between them, by the lectern and wearing a sort of military cap, this little chappie who spoke in an accent I could hardly understand. Naturally, I thought he was Spanish. But I'm not, as it turned out.
We probably couldn't understand you either.
He described himself as an accoutrement. Take it from me, comrade. Nobody joins the brigade without my unanimity.
It's a wonder they accepted you.
They offer your allegiance, and your loyalty, and your full endeavors to the popular front.
What's the popular front?
A Spanish government that I'm going to keep in power. I take it, you're an anarchist. No. A Marxist? No. A Republican? A socialist? A communist? No. Do you speak Spanish? No. Can you make explosives? No. Can you ride a motorbike? Yes. Ah, you're inside here.
So, you'll be a dispatch rider. And you leave on Saturday?
First time.
How long will you be away?
As long as it takes to sort the place out.
Seriously, Jerry?
Well, maybe a couple of months. Everybody says it'll be over by Christmas.
They always say it'll be over by Christmas. I still don't know why you're going.
I'm not so sure I know either. One salesman I can't sell. Fine, there's bound to be something right about the cause, isn't there? And it's a place to go, isn't it? Maybe that's the important thing for a man. A named destination. Democracy, Ballybeg, heaven. Women's illusions aren't so easily satisfied. They make better drifters. Anyhow, see how it depends. The sign on the dotted line, and it was only as I was writing my name that I glanced over the lectern and saw the box.
What box?
They were standing on the box. Well, the chappie was a midget.
Jerry.
No bigger than 3 feet.
Jerry.
I promise you.
Jerry Evans.
Let's go down to the old well.
You're going nowhere. No. Come inside. Take a look at this wireless. Stops and starts whenever it feels like it.
Chrissy, I told you I know nothing about it.
I said you're a genius at that.
Chrissy, I don't even know how
You can try, can't you? Come on. Mike and Mrs. Valley. You should see Father Jack striding through the meadow. He looks like a new man.
Were you talking with him?
He wants to do an exchange with me. I'm to give him this hat, and he's to give me some sort of three-cornered hat that the district commissioner gave him. Sounds like an exchange.
Chrissy says you're great with radios, Jerry.
Well, I'll take a look at it. Why not?
All I can tell you is that it's not the battery. I got a new one yesterday.
I'll take a look at the aerial first. Very often that's where the trouble lies. Then I'll have a look at the ignition and the sparking plugs. Leave it to Jerry.
Sounds very knowledgeable. It may be something he can't fix.
I know you're not responsible for Jerry's decisions, Christina, but it would be on my conscience if I didn't tell you how strongly I disapprove of this international brigade caper. It's It's a sorry day for Ireland when we send young men off to Spain to fight for godless communism.
Or democracy, Kate.
I'm not going to argue, I just want to clear my conscience.
Turn the radio on, Chrissy, will you?
It's on!
Right.
Just as we were coming out of the town, we met Vera McLaughlin, the knitting agent. Agnes and Rose aren't back yet. They'll be here soon. She said she'd call here tomorrow and tell them herself.
Tell them what?
She's not buying any more handmade gloves.
Why not?
Too dear, she says.
Oh dear, she pays them a pittance.
There's a new factory. Started up in Donegal town. They're making machine gloves there. Far more quickly and far more cheaply. The people that Vera used to supply are buying her gloves direct from the factory now.
That's awful news, Chrissy.
She says they're organizing buses to take the workers to the factory and back every day. The people who used to work at home have signed on. She tried to get a job there herself. They told her she was too old. She is 41. Poor woman. I hardly speak.
Oh God, poor Agnes. Poor Rose. What'll they do?
Who is that beautiful woman?
They're down Jerry? Let them have their tea. Tell them later.
Where?
On top of the sycamore!
Mother of God!
Ah, come on up here to me, Aggie.
What are you doing up there?
You can see into the future from up here, Aggie.
That tree is a dead, Jerry. Please come down.
Come on up here and see what's going to happen to you.
That branch is dead, Jerry. I'm telling you.
You think I can get a job in the service? Well,
Jerry, stop it!
if I am here with a great
Jerry!
disease,
Stop it!
getting them now.
No, I'm not looking. I'm not watching. That cloud of a man is up on top of the sycamore. Go on, tell him to come down.
He's fixing the wire at the area.
He's going to break his neck, I'm telling you.
As long as he fixes the wireless first. How are the bilberries, Agnes?
What's that picture right? You've You got should have picked them a week ago. You've got purple stain on your dancing. Oh, I know. I'd only begun when I fell into a bush. And look at my hands! All scrubbed with briars. For all the sympathy I got from Rosie, nearly died laughing at me. How is she now? Is she still in bed? Bed? She wasn't feeling well. She got pain when she could lie down. She's here, isn't she?
I haven't seen her, have you?
No.
When did she leave you?
Hours ago, I don't know. It must have been immediately after we got to the old quarry. She said she felt in the stores. And she went off by herself? Yes.
To come home?
That's what she said.
She's not in her bed.
Oh, God, where could she be?
Start at the beginning, Agnes. What exactly happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing at all. We left her. We're nothing just after 1 o'clock. Means she's missing for over 3 hours. And we walked together to the quarry. She was trotting away as usual. I had my 2 buckets and she had...
Go on, go on.
Just after we got there, she said she wasn't feeling well. I told her not to bother about the bilberries, just to sit beside them. That's what she did.
For how long?
I don't know. 5, 10 minutes. And then I got in the bush and that was when she laughed and she said, oh, I forgot what she said. Something about a headache and her stomach being sick and she'd go home and sleep for a while. Yeah, sure, she's up there.
Then what?
God, where's her rose?
What direction did she go when she left you,
Direction?
Agnes? Stop sniveling, Agnes. Did she go towards home?
Yes. I think so. Oh, I got wrong, Maggie.
She may be in the town. She wouldn't have gone into town in her Wellingtons.
She was wearing her good shoes.
Are you sure?
Yes, sent her blue cardigan and her good skirt. I said to her, I said, you're some lady to go picking bilberries with, and she just laughed and said, I'm so tough, Maggie. she a bottle of milk with her?
Yes, I think so, in one of her hands.
Had she any money with her?
She had the crown, that's what she has.
Danny Bradley.
What?
Who? Danny Bradley. The one up in the back hills.
What about the back hills?
She has some silly notion about that scamp Bradley. She believes he's in love with her. He bought her a present last Christmas, she says.
What do you know about this Bradley business? You don't know more than I've never seen you and Rose whispering together. What plot has been hatched between Rose and Mr. Bradley? I'm lying to you, and you sure withholding. I want the truth. Honest to God, I don't know what you're doing.
Stop it once. She may be in the town. She may be on her way home now. She may have taken a weak turn on her way back from the quarry. We're going to find her. You search the fields on the upper side. You take the lower side down as far as the main road. You go down to the old well and search all about there. I'm going into town and tell the police.
You're going to no police, Meg. If she's mixed up with that Bradley creature, I don't want it broadcast.
I'm going to the police, and you do as I told you to do.
There she is! Look, there she is!
We were beginning to get worried about you.
You're nice, doggy. You're sweet. And you got 2 candles. Good for you.
Is your stomach settled?
My stomach.
You weren't feeling well, remember? When we were at the quarry.
Oh, yes. I'm fine now, thanks.
You left me and you went home till I told you, remember that?
Yes. But you didn't come home, Rosie.
That's right, we were very worried about you.
Well, here I am. Were you in the town?
Why you're all dressed up, isn't it?
You went to Ballybeg, didn't you?
She's home safe and sound, and that's all that matters. Now, I don't know about you girls, but I can tell you this chicken is weak with hunger. Let me tell you what's on the menu this evening. Our beverage is the usual hot sweet tea. There is a choice between caraway seed bread and soda bread, both fresh from the chef's oven. And now we come to the difficulty. There's only 3 eggs between the 7 of us. I wish to God you'd persuade that white rooster of yours to lay eggs, Rosie.
There are 8 of us, Maggie.
How are there? Of course, the soldier up the sycamore. Not a great larder, but a nice challenge to someone like myself. My suggestion is eggs ballybeg. That is scrambled and served on lightly toasted caraway seed bread.
Next Sunday then. Is that all right? We'll go and pick some more blueberries.
All right.
Do you remember the cans you had? You had your own 2 cans. Do you remember? Did you take them with you?
Where to, Aggie?
Into town, wherever you went.
I hid them at the quarry behind the stone wall. They're safe there. I'll go back and pick them up later this evening. Does anyone know where my overall is?
It's lying on your bed, Rosie, and you need to bring some turf in.
I'll change first, Maggie.
Be quick about it.
How many pieces of toast do you want?
All that low, and go easy on the butter. Now, parsley and a whiff of basil. I don't want you to be too optimistic, girl, but you should know I feel very creative this evening.
I want to know where you've been, Rose. You have been gone for the entire afternoon. I want you to tell me where you've been.
Later.
Where have you been for the past 3 hours? Lughnasa. I didn't hear what you said, Rose.
Lughnasa, Kate.
You walked from the quarry to Lughnasa?
Yes.
Did you meet somebody there?
Yes.
Had you arranged to meet
I had
somebody
arranged to meet Daddy Bradley there, Kate. He brought me out in his father's blue boat. I don't want anything to eat, Maggie. I brought a bottle of milk, a packet of chocolate biscuits with me. We had a picnic on the lake. And the two of us went up through the Black Hills and he showed me what was left of the Lughnasa fires. A few of them were still burning away out there. We passed young Sweeney's house. You know the boy who got burned, the boy you said was dying. Well, he's on the mend, Danny says. His legs will be scarred, but he'll be all right. It's a very peaceful place up there. There was nobody there, Danny and me. He calls me his Rosebud, Aggie. I told you that before, didn't I? And then he walked me down as far as the workhouse gate, and I came on home by myself. And that's all I'm going to tell you. That's all any of you are going to hear.
What has happened to this house? Mother, God, will we ever be able to lift our heads ever again?
The following night, Bureau McLaughlin arrived and explained to Agnes and Rose why she couldn't buy their hand gloves anymore. Most of her home knitters were already working in the new factory, and she advised Agnes and Rose to apply immediately. The industrial revolution had finally caught up to Fanny. They didn't apply, even though they had no other means of making a living, and they never discussed their situation with their sisters. Perhaps Agnes made the decision for both of them, because she knew that Rose wouldn't have got to work there anyway. Or perhaps, as Kate believed, because Agnes was too notionate to work in a factory. Or perhaps the two of them just wanted away. Anyhow, on my first day back at school, we came into the kitchen for breakfast. And there was a note propped up against the milk jug. We are gone for good. This is best for all. Do not try to find us. It was written in Agnes's resolute hand. Of course they did try to find them. So did the police. So did our neighbors, who had a huge network of relatives all over England and America. But they had vanished without a trace. By the time I had tracked them down 25 years later in London, Agnes was dead. Rose was dying. In a hospice for the destitute in Southwark. Scraps of information I gathered about their lives during those missing years were too sparse to be coherent. They had moved about a lot. They worked as cleaning women in public toilets, in factories, in the underground. And then when Rose could no longer get work, Agnes tried to support them both, but couldn't. From then on, I gather they gave up. They took to drink, slept in parks, in doorways, on the Thames embankment. And then Agnes died of exposure. 2 days after I found Rose in that grim hospice, she didn't recognize me, of course. She died in her sleep. Father Jack's health improved quickly, and he soon recovered his full vocabulary and all of his old bounce and vigor. But he didn't say Mass that following Monday. In fact, he never said Mass again, and the neighbors stopped inquiring about him. And his name never again appeared in the Donegal Inquirer. And of course, there was never a civic reception with bands and flags and speeches. But he never lost his determination to return to Uganda. And he still talked passionately about his life and letters there. and each new anecdote contained more revelations. And each new revelation startled, shocked, stunned poor Aunt Kate, until finally she hit upon a phrase that appeased her. His own distinctive spiritual search. He's been around a fire and offering a little hand to Yuka or Ito or whoever is not religion as I was taught it and indeed know it. She would say with a defiant toss of her head, but then Jack must make his own distinctive search. And when he died suddenly of a heart attack, within a year of his homecoming, the very eve of the following Lughnasa, my mother and Maggie mourned him sorely. But for months, Kate was inconsolable. My father sailed for Spain that Saturday. The last I saw of him was dancing down the lane in imitation of Fred Astaire, swinging his walking stick. Uncle Jack's ceremonial tricorn at a jaunty angle over his left eye. When he got to the main road, he stopped and turned, and with both hands, blew a dozen theatrical kisses back to Mother and me. He was wounded in Barcelona. He fell off his motorbike. So that for the rest of his life he walked with a limp. The limp wasn't disabling, but it put an end to his dancing days, and that really distressed him. Even the role of named veteran, which he loved, could never compensate for that. He still visited us occasionally, perhaps once a year, and each time he was on the brink of a new career. And each time he proposed to Mother and promised me a new bike. And then the war came in 1939. And his visits became more infrequent. Finally, he stopped coming altogether. Sometime in the mid-50s, I got a letter from a tiny village in the south of Wales. A curt note from a young man my own age, and also called Michael Evans. He had found my name and address among the belongings of his father, Jerry Evans. He introduced himself to me as my half-brother and wanted me to know that Jerry Evans, father we shared, had died peacefully in the family home the previous week. Throughout his final illness, he was nursed by his wife and his 3 grown children, who all lived and worked in the village. My mother never knew of that letter. I decided to tell her, decided not to. Vacillated for years, as my father would have done. And eventually, rightly or wrongly, kept the information to myself.
Well, at least that's good news. What's that? The young Sweeney boy in the back hills is going to live. Good news indeed. Michael, where are you? We need some turf brought in. Are you still up there?
Don't stand there, I'm not going on W.
Have you any idea what you're doing?
Come on, appeal to me.
I'm sure I will.
Never made love on top of a sycamore tree.
If you fall and break your neck, it'll be too good for you. No one can vanish quicker than that Michael fellow when you need him. I had a brilliant idea when I woke up this morning, Agnes. I thought to myself, what is it that Ballybeg badly needs that Ballybeg hasn't thought of? It'll give up a dressmaker. So why doesn't Agnes Mundy, who has such clever hands, why doesn't she dressmake? Clever hands. So she'd get a pile of work They come from far and wide to pick a fortune.
Some fortune in Ballybeg.
And not only would the work be interesting, but she wouldn't be ruined in her eyes, staring at grey wool 8 hours a day. Did you notice how Rosie squints at things now? I'm telling you, it's the job for you, Aggie. Holy God, girls! Don't tell me I'm out of class! How could that happen?
Oh, Chrissy, you are one genius. Look at misery. Happiness!
What a drive!
What's keeping those wonderful eggs Ballybeg? If I had to choose between one wild woodbine and a man of, say, 52, widower, long, what would I do, Kate? I'd take that, so wouldn't I? God, I really am getting desperate. Maybe I should go to Rialto with you, Jack.
No, you won't, but I know you'd love it.
Would you guarantee a man for each of us?
Well, I couldn't promise 4 men, but I should be able to get one husband for all of you.
Wouldn't we settle for that?
One between the 4 of us.
So that's our system, and it works very well. So one of you would be his principal wife and live with him in his largest hut.
That'd be you, Kate. That's me.
And the other 3 of you he'd keep in his enclosure. It'd be like living on the same small farms.
No, you know, then what sort of duties would we have?
Cooking, sewing, helping with the crops, washing, the usual housekeeping tasks.
Sure, that's what we do anyhow.
And looking after his children.
Then you have my Kate.
By all 4 of you.
Oh.
And what's so efficient about that system is that the husband and the wives and the children all make up a small commune where everybody helps everybody else and cares for them. Well, I'm completely in favor of it.
It may be efficient, and you may be in favor of it, Jack, but I don't think it's what Pope Pius XI considers to be the holy sacrament of matrimony. It might be better for you if you paid just a bit more attention to our Holy Father and a bit less to the great God Yegi.
Listen, I knew they have men there too.
We're overrun with hens.
So these music girls are having points. Would you be game, Kate? Would you give my head peace, Maggie? Jerry has it going. Tell me this, Jack. What's the Swahili for?
You'd love the climate too, Kate.
I'm not listening to a word you're saying.
Well, any good?
Listen.
Aha! Leave it to the expert.
But I have something for you, Jerry. What's that? The plumed hat. The ceremonial hat. Remember, we agreed to swap with you in a second.
Good work, Jerry.
That might be the area. That's the end of your troubles. Dance with me, Agnes.
But you said it's Jerry Evans.
Dance with me, Agnes. Please, come on.
Dance with you, Maggie. Anything goes.
Give me your hand.
Go on, Aggie. Who wants to dance at this time of the I dress you like, I dress you like nobody will. All of a sudden, and every night I put up that party and truly we're the party. Anything goes.
Wow, 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 wow. You're a great dancer, Aggie. Oh, you're a superb dancer. You should be a professional dancer.
Too late for that.
You can teach dancing in Ballybeg.
Oh, that's all they need.
Maybe it is.
Anything goes.
Anna, there you are. Safe and sound.
God, I wish I could dance like you, Aggie. I'm impressed.
Doesn't she dance elegantly?
Always did our Aggie.
Unbelievable. Now, Chrissy, you and I.
Not now. There's Michael Coger.
Come on, Chrissy, one.
I'll dance with you, Jerry. Do you want to be real smart?
Certainly do, Maggie.
Stand back there, girl. Shirley Temple needs a lot of space.
Wow, 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 wow.
Oh, wasn't to be, Jerry. But there'll be another day.
That's a promise, Maggie. Not a bad little step, that.
Peace, thanks be to God. Do you know what that wedding has done? Killed all Christian conversation in this country.
Vera McLaughlin is calling here tomorrow. She wants to talk to you and Rose.
I didn't tell you, did I? Her daughter's got engaged. We should then. Her descent is going to be just supreme this year, Miss Mundy. That sweet rat. Sophia, is she not yet in school? That's last year. She's 15 and the lucky man is 16. Only God we may pack it in, girl. It's indecent, I'm telling you. What does she want to talk to us about?
Something about wolves. Didn't sound important. She probably won't call it off. Go ahead and dance, you two.
Our teeth like Margaret Monday can't perform on demand. We need to be in touch with other forces first, don't we, Jerry?
Absolutely, Maggie. Now, why is there no sound?
Maggie, are we never going to eat?
Indeed we are. Outside in the garden. Everybody gets al fresco.
The school is almost over, girls. There aren't going to be many warm evenings left. Good idea, Maggie.
Figure out what to do with this. Zoom in on those trees.
I was glad Blue put leaves on them because the gobo they had leaves.
Yeah.
The tree itself didn't have any leaves on it.
Oh.
So the sun's coming through the trees, casting the shadow of leaves, but there are no leaves on the limbs.
I heard that it was supposed to be a bit